In the 1970s and 1980s, Yugoslavia wasn't just a nation, it was an industrial experiment. While the world looked to Detroit, Stuttgart, and Tokyo for trucks, Yugoslavia quietly built its own fleet. These trucks weren't flashy or high-tech. They were functional, durable, and designed to withstand the rugged roads and unpredictable terrain of the Balkans. When Western trucks dominated headlines, Yugoslavia's fleet quietly endured, practical, reliable, and nearly erased from history. Today, most of these vehicles are gone, remembered only in photographs and the memories of those who drove them daily. This is the story of Zastava trucks, the forgotten machines that kept a nation moving. Zastava, originally a manufacturer of cars and military vehicles, began exploring truck production in the mid-20th century. Yugoslavia's government invested heavily in industrialization, aiming to create self-sufficient infrastructure capable of sustaining domestic transportation needs while competing on export markets. Zastava's truck division focused on simplicity, reliability, and adaptability, knowing that rural roads and small-town garages required vehicles that could be repaired with basic tools. Unlike Western trucks, which often relied on complex electronics and imported parts, Zastava's design philosophy prioritized maintainability above all else. By the 1970s, these trucks were entering domestic fleets and being exported to other Eastern Bloc countries, North Africa, and even parts of the Middle East. They were the backbone of a transportation system that connected factories, farms, and cities, enabling the steady flow of goods and services across Yugoslavia's diverse regions. Among the most recognizable Zastava trucks were the 620 and 640 models. Each served a specific purpose. The 620 was a medium-duty truck, well-suited for urban deliveries, farming, and municipal services, with a payload capacity of around 3 tons. The 640, a heavier-duty version, offered higher payload capacity of up to 6 tons, making it popular in construction, industrial transport, and as a base for buses and military vehicles. The 620 featured a diesel engine, a 4-speed manual transmission, and was appreciated for its maneuverability and low running costs. The 640, on the other hand, came with a more powerful engine and a reinforced chassis to handle demanding loads, turning it into one of Zastava's most versatile and long-lasting workhorses. Despite their differences, all models shared a common design ethos: mechanical simplicity, durability, and ease of repair. Parts were standardized across models wherever possible, reducing production costs and making maintenance easier for owners and mechanics. Zastava trucks were intentionally minimalist. They relied on diesel engines with straightforward fuel injection systems, eliminating unnecessary complexity. Electrical systems were basic, supporting only headlights, turn signals, and essential gauges. Cab interiors were utilitarian, with functional seating and controls rather than comfort features. One of the key advantages of Zastava trucks was their robustness. Chassis were reinforced to withstand rough roads, gravel paths, and mountainous terrain common in Yugoslavia. Suspension systems were simple but effective, allowing trucks to carry full loads over uneven surfaces without frequent breakdowns. This practicality made them indispensable in regions where Western trucks would require costly maintenance or specialized parts. Safety features were minimal by modern standards, but they reflected the priorities of the time: reliability, availability, and the ability to keep moving. For the people using these trucks, a breakdown could mean lost income, missed deliveries, or delayed construction projects. Zastava understood this necessity and designed accordingly. Zastava trucks were more than just vehicles. They were enablers of daily life. Farmers relied on them to transport produce from remote fields to local markets. Construction crews depended on them to move materials between sites. Small businesses, from bakeries to distributors, counted on these trucks to deliver products efficiently. In many towns, a Zastava truck was a familiar sight, often becoming an extension of the community. Drivers developed a personal attachment to their vehicles, maintaining them meticulously to ensure years of service. Mechanics became adept at improvising repairs, a skill necessary when replacement parts were scarce or when the vehicle was far from a city. The trucks also played a role in national pride. They represented Yugoslavia's ability to produce functional, competitive vehicles without relying entirely on Western imports. Even in export markets, Zastava trucks were recognized for their practicality and endurance, often outlasting other vehicles in harsh conditions. While domestic demand was significant, export markets were equally important. Zastava trucks were shipped to other socialist states, North African countries, and parts of the Middle East. Their affordability, durability, and simplicity made them attractive alternatives to more expensive Western models. Export trucks sometimes received minor modifications to meet local regulations, such as improved cooling systems for hot climates or reinforced suspension for poorly maintained roads. Despite these adaptations, the core design remained the same: rugged, functional, and reliable. Internationally, Zastava trucks were less glamorous than Western brands, but they earned a reputation for dependability. Operators often remarked that a Zastava would start reliably after months of inactivity and could endure days of heavy use without significant mechanical issues. The 1990s brought political and economic upheaval to Yugoslavia. Production slowed as factories struggled with supply chain disruptions, decreased domestic demand, and rising competition from Western and Asian manufacturers. Once reliable, affordable trucks became harder to produce and maintain, and Zastava gradually disappeared from active service. Many trucks were scrapped, while others were sold to private owners or left abandoned. Unlike Western brands that maintained global recognition, Zastava trucks faded from memory, preserved mainly in photographs, old manuals, and the recollections of drivers and mechanics. Today, surviving models are rare. Some are displayed in museums, while a few enthusiasts restore them to working condition. They serve as tangible reminders of an era when industrial ambition and practical engineering intersected in a unique way. Though largely forgotten, Zastava trucks illustrate important lessons in industrial design and national planning. They demonstrate how a vehicle can be optimized for function over style, for reliability over luxury, and for practicality over sophistication. For historians, engineers, and transport enthusiasts, these trucks offer insight into a different approach to vehicle design, one grounded in necessity and realism rather than marketing or aesthetic appeal. They also provide a glimpse into the economic and social structures of Yugoslavia, showing how industry supported both urban centers and rural communities. Zastava trucks may no longer roam the roads, but their impact remains. They were workhorses that enabled commerce, connected communities, and symbolized industrial independence. Remembering these trucks is not about nostalgia. It's about recognizing a pragmatic engineering achievement and understanding a key chapter in Yugoslavia's industrial history.